we go down the line and say how many bodies is 2 bodies for me to want to date the opposite sex, or
I feel
whoever my
like when
partner
you
is,
get
it
over
could
a
be
certain
something.
age, it doesn't matter because that's what you think about.
Okay, so no cap.
I'm almost 40 years old. If you're worried about how many people your partner slept with, you're insecure.
No cap.
Yeah,
production team's gonna have a lot of
I don't
bleeping
really
to do.
care how many people somebody has slept with. What I care about is, what's inside and how they treat me. So
Realistically, if your partner or somebody who you were interested in slept with, ridiculous.
obviously, if somebody slept with 1,000 guys, I'd have a lot of questions for her.
Okay.
That would be a little.
What is it
But
feel
you'd
like?
still be open
But
to
for the
pursuing.
most part, in a general term, if I met somebody that went through times in her life, like the female version of Wilt Chamberlain, for example,
wow.
I don't know
then
if that's the exact same thing.
But obviously I would have questions, but what I'm trying to say is it's not the end all be all for me.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think for me, it's about inconsistency. So like I said, the guy I'm with right now, he was my first body, but up until then, I'd meet a lot of guys who would fetishize that I'm a virgin. I think it's
All right.
okay. And for me, if a guy has a
It
super
doesn't
high
matter.
body count, but they want a girl who's
Promise
a
it
virgin or
doesn't.
has a low body count, for me, that's a bigger red flag than just a guy who has a high body count.
Sure. Tim?
Wait, why is that a red flag? Why do I want to be with a girl that's a...
Because I think
That's
if
a
you're,
red flag.
I think if your reason, I think a valid reason for wanting someone with a low body count is pair bonding, and that applies for both sexes. So if both of them have a higher body count or one of them does, that's going to disaffect pair bonding. So I would say that
that's
guy
not
doesn't have a valid
Peer
reason.
bonding thing, that's the dumbest thing I've
Yeah,
ever
that
heard.
is
They don't have to
retarded.
believe in it,
Dumbest.
but I'm just saying if that's his belief, like he's a Christian or he's religious, and so he also keeps a low body count, then for me that's a more valid request or standard.
I am so glad I don't live in your guys' universe. My wife and I have known each other for over 20 years,
Yeah.
and this never was a thing.
Tim, you don't watch any porn.
How,
Come
wait,
on.
how long have you been in your wife been
It's a
together
weird
for?
question.
So we've
What the fuck he just say?
known each other about 20 years. We dated around the time we first met, and then we had kind of like a, I don't know, like a millennial on-off thing for the whole time. And then
So this is a weird. It's even a weird concept, I think, because for me, like, who gives a? I don't even. I'm almost 40 years old. You know what I mean? I'm a high value woman. Myron.
Weird. Let me rewind that back. Y'all, let me rewind that back just a little bit.
Years old. You know what I mean? I'm a high value woman, Myron. But it doesn't.
Are you married?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm married. No, because you guys are
Yeah,
all.
Tim Pool. That's
Shut
his
up,
name.
dude.
No.
No, not Tim Pool. The
No.
other guy.
Shut up.
No, you're
No one's
The one with the
shut
jazz
up,
hat
dude.
on.
a 40-year-old woman
Oh,
that's saying
yeah,
she's
yeah.
high value.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
Oh, you know what?
40 years old and too
Sorry,
holy.
I don't listen to the way that Muslims think about anything, so shut up.
You need the guidance.
No, I think you need the guidance.
You need to stop
pray
eating
to-
pigs.
I'm on her
You eat too
side.
much- You clearly eat too much ham.
Wait. Was there,
You ate way
was
too
there
much
a
ham.
question for me or something?
A question? No.
No, you're saying
Uh,
no, but we were
Stein,
talking
body
about.
I would not be with a girl if she's
I'm
banging.
just saying,
If it's more
this-
than 2 hands.
All right, let me
I
take
will-
this. Let me
never-
take
I ain't
this.
gonna, I ain't gonna hold you, Battle Zone. Listen, your past is a reflection of what's gonna happen in the future, big dog. Especially when it comes to women with the high body count, bro. They're more likely to leave. They're not stable. 9 times, yeah, you may catch a couple of them. You know, some they may slip through the cracks, but 8 times out of 10, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem.
All right, this might, let me.
Seriously, I mean, yeah.
More than 2 bodies is no good for you?
No, more than 10. Like
More
if
than 10.
Yeah, now, here's the thing.
Now, of course, let me be clear about it though. Every man has his threshold. Some men say, listen, you can't have more than 3 bodies. Some men say more than 5. Some men say more than 10. Some men say 50. There's a threshold for every man, and every man is different. But that body count matters. But that number is definitely specific to the man. But at the end of the day, every man has a number. Just like there are a lot of women who have a price.
No
Like,
way.
this is a personal thing with each guy, right? So they all have their number and that's fine. But what I will say is that most guys are going to have problems with women that have a very promiscuous past. That's just the reality. It's a biological reality.
No, it's not.
So
What about men? How about women
No,
that have a
it's
problem with
not.
men? It could go both.
Ain't she out here smoking cigarettes? Ain't nothing. Hell nah. High value. What about her is high value? Look at this shit. What about her is high value? What about What about her when she walks down the street? Because at the end of the day, we already know men out the gate, we're physical creatures. So when we see this right here, when we see this shit right here, what makes it high value? Where? Where? And she probably drank beer. Ugh. High blood pressure, high BMI. And this ain't even the insult. We just, listen, I'm calling out what, listen, I need a lot of women who gonna see this too. I need y'all to understand as well. This isn't me going in on her, because I can go in on her. But when you make a statement like, I'm high value, you're opening yourself up for a lot of shit and a lot of criticism. Just because you say you high value, that doesn't make you high value on any level. I don't give a fuck who you are. Even if you're a man and you say you high value, hey fam, I need to see the results. You say you high value, I need to see the results. I need to see how it is that you're a high value man. Now, if you say you're a high value man in progress, you're working towards that. And when we talk about that, that means, I know a lot of people have their different definitions, but I'm gonna try my best to stay as close to the Kevin Samuels one as I possibly can. But a high value man, a Henry, a man who is in training, high earner, not rich yet. And that comes with what? That comes with the outer appearance and this mentality. You can't just be a high earner just to be a high earner. There's a lot comes with that. And I'll give y'all an example too. I can use myself as an example, right? I'm gonna cut my hair off. I'm gonna get my low cut again. I'm done with the braids. Because I think it's an image thing, right? Start improving the image. We back in the gym. We eating healthier now because we're focusing on the outer appearance. We're focusing on the image, right? And how we can better improve ourselves to be more receptive so more people can be more receptive, right? So when we talk about sponsorship deals, when we're talking about people who may be seeing me or people I can potentially work with, I want to make sure that I'm presentable outside first, but also I need to make sure that my mental matches that. So then I then become that high value man once I get to that point. Right? Her in this aspect, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Right? So
what about men? How about women
No,
that have a
it's
problem with
not.
men? It could go both ways, can't
You
it?
know, it's not.
No.
And
Well,
here's
they
the problem.
don't, because we
No,
asked them to, and they said that it was uncapped, right? So
Some women don't want to be with men that
There
are
is double standard though, where a guy that
Yes.
has a lot of sex is valuable, and
yeah,
a woman
A
that
man
has a lot
that
of
can
sex.
have a lot of
Cool
sex.
analogy,
Here's the
Myron.
thing.
Oh, that's called
A man,
misogynistic.
the analogy is, a key that opens many locks is a master key versus a lock that
Oh,
opens any
God.
key is a shitty lock. But the reality is that if a man has a lot of sexual partners, he's doing something right, because it's not easy for men to get sexual access. But if a woman has, hold on, let me finish. But
now I will say this. From the looks of her face, if you take the chunkiness off, when she was younger, in her 20s, she probably was attractive. She probably was hot shit. I'll give her that, because you can tell. You can look at her and tell when she was younger, she probably was hot shit in her 20s. But she think that her 20s follows to her 40s. Shorty, you don't look the same. You ain't dressing the same. You ain't as confident in your body as you were when you were in your 20s. But what you did, and what you did continue to keep, is that attitude. And we can tell that she got one.
if a woman has a lot of sexual partners, she's definitely doing something wrong, because the reality is men must create their value to get sexual access, versus women need to preserve their value, because as soon as they turn 18, they can get any guy that they want. And so if they go ahead and gamble it away and spend their, youth and time being it's going to hurt them later on. That's literally the basis as to why we were talking about before her OnlyFans shit is going to. Despite the fact that she's saying I'm a virgin or whatever, the fact that she does sex work in general does inherently lower her value, because men look for purity. It's one of the most important things we look for when looking for a mate.
Yeah,
now, if you guys don't want to understand biology, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Yes, it's because
there are rich, ugly guys.
and the reason why you just mentioned child, that's the primary reason. We must ensure paternity. And before the advent of paternity tests, we had to kind of take the woman's word. So the reason why guys have a vested interest in a woman not being a is because if she's not, we know the child's ours.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
girls can
self-defense
say the
mechanism.
same thing in reverse, where they don't want a guy with a lot of sexual partners because that's going to divert his resources away from her. So you can make the Evo Psych argument in
feel that
reverse.
way?
And Yeah.
Oh, because
Was your boyfriend a
I just
virgin?
asked and I
I'm
thought-
Wait,
not
real
talking about
quick.
his sexual
Dude,
history.
dude,
I'm not going to talk about his sexual history, but I will say prior to
He's
him,
a
all
lot
my
of chicks,
exes,
hasn't he?
all my exes before him were Christian conservatives. They all kept low body counts. A lot of them were also valuing waiting till marriage.
Okay,
whatever.
here's
So I
the
will say
difference.
that. So I'm
Here's-
just saying
this
it's
is-
fine
this is
to
the
have that
ridiculousness of
standard.
female-
I'm just saying
It
it's
is-
Wait, so hold on. I'm the guys, hold on. So she said, and correct me if I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong. So she said earlier, right, that the guy that she's with now is her first body, meaning he's the one that broke her virginity. The guys that she dated prior didn't have anything, they didn't do anything because they had values in regards to being a virgin and making sure that they wait till marriage, right? So what I'm hearing, and the reason why she didn't answer this question, because then she gets backed up into a wall, and then now she also understands it, and it was going to prove the point of her saying that the guy that she's with now, he already had multiple bodies, which then proves the point of we don't live by the same rules as men and women, because she was willing to lay down with the guy who had experience versus laying down with the guys who had the values. Now, did she want to lay down with them? Maybe, don't know. Or was she even attracted to it at that time? Because maybe she wasn't feeling it and didn't, maybe they just weren't giving off that vibe and she wasn't getting wet down there. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But the guy that she's with now, bust that cherry.
It's a double standard. That's the way it should be.
I'm saying
Men
girls
live life
don't
on hard
actually
mode,
want
women live life on
promiscuous
easy
guys.
mode.
Girls
This
just,
is why.
okay,
Dude,
can I finish?
Women literally
Girls
live life
don't
on
want
easy
guys.
Oh my
mode
God.
when it comes to sexual access. I find it interesting that you mentioned, oh, I was a virgin. Why did you lead with that? Because you understand that your value as a partner is intrinsically tied to your body count.
Yeah.
That's why you mentioned it.
No,
Now,
because you brought up my
here's-
boyfriend being
here's
a-
the-
and I'm saying the definition of someone who watches
He is
their
a cuck.
girlfriend get other
But
men.
again,
You're saying by your
but
definition,
that's
he's
the
obviously
point.
not a. If you swipe my
point
V
is-
card, you
the
dumbass. That's
point
not why I
is-
led
hold
with
on,
it.
hold on,
Second
hold
of
on,
all,
hold on, woman, hold
women
on.
do often
See,
care
this
about
is
a
why
guy's
bro,
promiscuity.
why is she still
Women
talking?
do care about
Why is
guys'
she still
promiscuity.
talking?
They suck it up most of the time.
Here's
Because
the
like the
thing.
reason I said you can make the ovocite
Your body
argument in both
count,
ways.
your body count mattered way more to him than his body count matters to you, because women understand, hey, guys are going to have a body count. It is what it is. If anything, men with higher body counts tend to be attractive because they have social proof, they demonstrate higher value, and they're able to be attractive to other women. Versus on your totem pole, you care more about his status, how he looks, what he does. He's caring about, okay, is this chick a virgin? You literally said,
No.
I gave him my virginity. What does that imply?
It's funny because outside this red pill world, most guys find it like they find it weird if a girl at my age is a virgin. Like I lost it at
Yeah.
26. Outside
I
of the
think
red
there's a
pill,
difference between like virgin and like 50+ bodies that a lot of like men
I
are
guess my
struggling to
point
find
is, like,
women who
most
got-
guys I
you
speak
value
to,
your
They'll
virginity.
find it weird, but they
it's not
won't.
about virginity
They'll
in
find
terms
it
of
weird.
Well, they find it weird. A lot of men find it weird now because a lot of these chicks are 304s. Most chicks are already having sex at the age of 16. They've already done it already in high school. So it's very, very far-fetched and very hard to find a woman that has not busted open yet. It's hard. So yes, when you a man and you find a woman that ain't been a virgin, 9 times out of 10, he trying to lock her down. It's like, nah, fam. Nope, she ain't tainted. Nope. Let me go ahead and get her real quick. Let me go. Come here, shorty. Come here. God damn it. Shit. Come on now. Can't get away from me. Come here. God damn it. You know what I'm saying?
I
they're
say
not
it's
gonna
about
leave
not
the
wanting
girl
to
for
just
it.
get pressured
all-
into sexual experiences just because society says you have to, just because they're like, oh, well, you're an OnlyFans, so you might as well let it go. I don't subscribe to that. I
is
can
there-
do it if I want
Is
to.
Is there an amount of
Can I-
money you
No
could
questions.
make that would retire
yelling
you from
over
your
each other.
sex work?
If so, I've already made it. So no, I'm
Can
going
I
to
answer
keep
your
going for a
question,
while.
sir? I'm
Sure.
sorry, what was your name again?
A lot.
Would you rather be allowed?
All right,
Shout out to the
relax.
boys.
Did he say Benjamin Netanyahu? I didn't hear what he just
A
said.
lot,
Would you
Eliyahu.
rather be with a woman who treats you like shit, who doesn't do anything for you, who's terrible in bed, but has only been with 1 or 2 men in her life? Or would you rather be with someone who has been with 1,000 men, but treats you fantastic, respects you, doesn't cheat on you, and is a loving person?
Or
What would you rather
Well,
have?
you know,
Or
already
answer that
being a
question.
loving
I
person.
feel like
That's not
frankly
even a
neither.
good
That's-
comparison.
let him
That's-
answer.
This is your-
Alex,
let me
I would say neither.
That's a horrible choice. But if you're gonna choose, I'd rather choose the one with the low body count. The attitude and shit we can fix. He's saying the bad sex, you can fix that. You can fix that. Attitudes and shit, you can fix that.
Say neither.
Okay, so you can't
you say
choose
both?
between the two? You're telling me you'd rather have somebody that treats you like shit,
Because-
maybe, than
I'm-
someone
All
who
right,
slept
so
with
let me take this. See, here's the thing. I would take the girl that's one or two bodies, and I'll tell you why.
that treats you like crap.
Well, here's the
Really?
thing. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
As a man, your job, let me explain. As a man, your job is to turn your woman into basically your follower. She's your assistant. Your job is to make her be useful
Yeah,
to
hell
you.
yeah.
Misogyny
You got to
stuff.
come in and train her. Okay, so
misogyny.
let me ask, it's misogyny?
Yeah.
Okay,
Your
so
help,
explain to me,
man.
why do women want a guy that's taller, makes more money,
Not
has
every
more
woman
status,
wants that.
dominant,
No,
assertive?
and in
The
fact, a lot of them don't.
The majority
No,
of
they
women
don't.
overwhelmingly
majority do.
look for
they don't.
They want a
status.
short broke guy. That's what they look for.
like,
Oh, you said this might need to be a whole topic. Should I save it? Should I save it for the because we're gonna go live Friday too on the Banter and Barter Show. We're gonna do another live stream for the panel. You know what? That might be a great question to ask. You know what? Let me write that down. Let me put that in my notes, man. That's a great one.
the majority of women,
Myron, you're tall, you're
overwhelmingly-
single.
Hold on. The overwhelming majority of
Why
women
you keep
wants a
trying
guy
to
that's
compare
taller,
men and
stronger,
women?
You don't
more
speak for
competent,
women, dude.
and is a leader.
Wait,
That's the
Come on,
truth.
bro.
That's
That's a
biology.
fact. We're not
That's a fact.
No, it's really
It's a
not.
fact. It's a literal fact.
Every woman has
It's not
different-
right for you because you're old now. But the
Yeah.
reality is, you don't have the same ability to command a higher status guy. That's why you got to
Right.
call yourself
Oh,
a high
yeah,
value
you're
woman.
right.
Well, just,
So,
to be fair,
a high value woman is a woman that can get a
Right.
high value guy to lock her in and take his last name.
Right.
So ridiculous.
Women
You
get
guys
their
don't
value
really believe
from the
this
men
shit,
that they're
do you?
with. Men get their value based on what they provide to society. We are not the same, okay?
Right,
Men
yeah.
are evaluated completely differently than women are.
Ladies and
Don't let
gentlemen,
these
Myron is
over
so
here try to
popular on
change your
social
mind.
media.
Yes,
He says
because
the
I
most
tell the
ridiculous-
truth.
No,
This
you
is-
don't. No, you don't.
Elizabeth,
This is
Elizabeth, where's Elizabeth? Is Elizabeth here?
Misogynist.
We got-
Me ass nigga.
Everybody get
Misogynist
you
man.
guys want to be
White House
attracted.
report.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Hold on one second. Hold on.
You stop listening to Muslim
reason-
ideologies.
hold
That's
on,
exactly where you're
Yeah.
There's
coming
a reason.
Mr. Sharia
There's a
law.
reason.
Yeah, Sharia law is
There-
exactly what it is, dude.
you-
Women only
you-
want
you
tall
need a
guys
diet
with
law.
money.
Anyway,
Oh, shut up,
there's
dude.
a reason.
Fucking hairpiece.
There's a reason guys like me and
Oh,
Andrew Tate,
right.
et cetera,
Yeah,
grew up
right.
because we're saying what all men are thinking.
Oh,
We
right.
don't want annoying,
Yeah.
crass women
Right.
like
From the
this
single guy.
trying to tell us what it is.
Right.
We know what we're attracted to, and these
And you see what I was talking about earlier. You know why there's so many? Want to know why there's so many women, extreme leftist women, white women? You see that nigga over there with that jazz hat, who play that little flute on Sunday nights in church? That's him. He the reason why. Because he's using the same talking points. Well, you're single. Look at you. You're single. Look at you. You're single. As if men don't control access to relationships. As if women are out here. As if women are the ones that's out here chasing men, when men are actually the ones out here chasing women and locking them down. As if men ain't putting these women in slots, which is why a lot of these women, oh, what are we? What are we? And these niggas playing the game with them. Shit, man, we just kicking it for real, man. We getting to know each other, man. We chilling for real, for real. He ain't giving you the access. So that argument to use against men thinking that we're the same, you might as well throw that shit out the window. It ain't the same. We ain't the same. We don't operate the same. Cut it out.
on the left try to tell you guys,
Right.
no, you should want a woman to.
Hey,
You
listen
should
to
want a
him.
girl.
Never
He's
said
doing
that.
well.
Never said that.
Like,
Never
no,
said
thank
that.
you. We don't
Never
want
said
that.
that.
All right, we got
Apparently,
someone.
women don't
we don't
want
want
you.
that.
You're
We got-
single.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys,
Look
we
at
got
it.
someone up
Still
here who
using
All
it.
right,
is.
Elizabeth, you asked a question, but give us your opinion on the question.
So I will say this, one of the biggest problems we have in our society right now is testosterone.
Right.
Yes.
That
Encourage the men in here if you
It
have
is,
not
yeah.
had your testosterone.
Listen, you can always tell the profile of a woman. Look at her. We notice something. Anytime they got colored hair, she's a problem. She's a problem.
levels checked. You should.
Yeah, Myron.
And the
take
problem
note.
is that as women, as men are
You're a
losing
circle.
testosterone.
You're literally a circle.
Come on. Hold on.
No, Myron,
What?
you
Afterwards,
know I
Myron,
love
we
you,
can, dude.
and I support everything you say and do. I'm.
So you believe women are second-class citizens?
Let her finish.
Yeah, my problem.
Look at this nigga here. Look at him. Look at him. You believe women are second-class citizens? What's up with this outfit, though? Yeah, well, want me to hit it for you? Want me to hit it for you, KD? Want me to hit it for you, big dog? I got you. Watch this.
Shut up, bitch.
Problem
Okay, well,
is
that's
that
absurd.
men are not stepping up. Their testosterone levels are low.
I
Like
agree.
Brian.
All right, come on
I
down.
agree. Listen. Okay. Listen. All right. So I'm gonna walk it back. Bullshit. I don't believe that there's everybody for somebody. That's cap. I disagree because there's a lot of single people out here. I disagree. I'm gonna walk it back. So at first I thought she was coming sideways. So that's on me. I jumped the gun. So basically what she's saying, more men need to start stepping up. They need to get more testosterone. I agree. More men, because in today's age, we don't have this testosterone as they used to have back in the day. Because they used to be filled with that shit. Pause. Men today, that testosterone level is low. They get softer and weaker. They need some magnesium. They need some zinc. They need some vitamin D3. They need some tucanali. They need some fish oil. They need some ashwagandha. They need to go lift some fucking weights. They need to do all of that shit. They need to eat more eggs. They need all of that. Get that testosterone back and start building this shit back up. Look at him. Look at him. Well, first, testosterone is that's one part of being a man. That's one part of it. Getting that testosterone back, because also a lot of men are becoming obese too. So therefore, that's a great thing. Having that high testosterone. Why y'all think that back in the day when our fathers, they looked like fucking grown ass men at the age of 15? And no, what you mean masculine mentality? Yeah, you're supposed to be masculine. I'm a fucking man. What do you mean? That don't make sense. What you want a softie? What you want a man? Oh, my bad. You like this type of nigga here. You like that type of nigga, huh? Pasty, soft, speaks the language of women, on women's side. You know, he's a feminist, don't know how to stand up for himself. He's the one who said that he don't care if his woman has 1,000 bodies, but yeah, I just care about her on the inside. Sound like some shit a woman is saying. Men need masculine mentality. Okay, I'm sorry, Iron. I apologize. I thought you were saying. I apologize. Listen. I know when to bring myself to the forefront. I apologize. I thought you was saying something else. My bad. That's on me. I jumped the gun. My apologies.
Come on down here real quick. Come up.
Yeah.
Come on. No, walk up here. You come on. You're like, listen to the words I'm
What you
saying.
need to take that
Walk
shit out
up
of here.
here. Gosh. It's like you
She
guys
said, did
can't
she say
hear
my
me or
testosterone
something.
levels were low?
Sit there.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah. See, yeah. Now he mad because he thought he was out here trying to save the women. Guess what? You got women going against him.
Well, I'll be happy to
Sorry
tell
to
you that
say,
I
man.
actually saw a doctor 6 months ago, and I had some blood work done, and they were actually too high. Did
And
you
you
know
found out
that
you're
bald
gay.
men have an
The
average?
fact that you feel
Tim
like
knows a
you
little bit
have
about
to
that.
justify
Well,
yourself
Tim
tells
knows a
me
little
you
bit
have a
about that.
testosterone problem.
More testosterone, yeah.
Okay.
Do I have low testosterone because I don't think people like you are
No,
second-class
because
citizens?
all of us
like
had
this
to
bigot
be
fool over here?
subject to you hitting on Myron this whole
That's
time.
what
It
it
was
is. I'm
really
hitting on him.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's what it is.
It's weird.
Boom
Really
roasted.
odd.
That's what it is.
It's
Yeah,
You're
you're
actually
right.
harassed by this.
And she trying to listen. She trying to get in there. She trying to get in there.
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm hitting a bigoted fool. Like
But Brian, does
Great
that make
point.
your
That's
brain-
why I have low testosterone.
Bro, it's literally the
Great point.
Lucky Charms for
Great
real.
point.
But Brian,
I
can
I
you
have more luck with
comprehend
women
that?
than you do, apparently.
But real quick, Brian, is it really that hard for you to comprehend that she has this opinion as a woman? I mean,
as a woman to
Yeah, she
make
did.
an assumption about somebody
And she
because
It's not
an
hold on, let me
assumption.
finish. Let me finish.
I know, but see, that's what I'm saying. See how but you see, he has the talking points of a woman because he can't even concede to the fact of what she's saying, and she's saying it from a woman's perspective, and he's still disagreeing. This is a woman saying it, but as long as they're on the other two are on his side, he gonna agree all day. This is crazy.
Let her answer. Let her answer.
It's not
As
an
a
assumption.
woman, excuse me, you're not a doctor. You have no medical degree, so be quiet and let me finish.
Here he go. Here he go trying to qualify and validate himself. He wasn't doing none of that shit with Myron. He wasn't doing none of that shit. And all of a sudden, he want to be big dog. Oh my God.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now he sounds like Myron.
Maybe this is making you feel like a man. That's okay.
For you to
Anything you need to feel like a
be quiet
man.
and let me finish.
You got to say
okay?
men are speaking
Please.
now.
For you to make an assumption about somebody, whether it be anything.
I was talking
can
in
I just
general. You
talk
took
for
it
5
personally.
seconds without
I just said you were being.
I'll be honest, you might have a lot more
That's
testosterone.
no
Myron's like, I totally
assumption. You
right.
were being.
I agree, you have a lot of testosterone. But anyway, let me just
let him
make.
finish,
Can I
let him
talk for
finish.
5 seconds without being interrupted
Yes.
by you?
Go
Look like
right ahead.
By the
sir.
way, what is up with that? Forget it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go there.
Look at him. Now,
Anyway,
now he's trying to make it hominum attacks. There he go. Check him out.
Oh, here we go.
For you to make an assumption about somebody and their testosterone because you might not like a
Did I say,
political
Brian,
opinion.
you have a testosterone
Yes,
problem?
you said it right over there.
I said
You said I have low
I said
testosterone.
we
Now,
have a
that's fine. You can
testosterone
think that if you
problem
like.
in this country.
Oh, you also mentioned my name and you
No,
said
I
love-
said you were being.
Okay. You said I had low. So what is your definition of being?
You were hitting on Myron nonstop.
Okay.
I
So
feel very uncomfortable. Thank you.
let me be very clear on that.
Can you blame him?
I don't have a fetish for bigots
No, right.
or grifters, okay?
That's why you dated
So,
MAGA. That's why you dated MAGA girl.
Number two, for you to assert that I am actually defending women and that I think they should be equal to men
Thanks, Aaron.
and they have the intellect to not,
You're
excuse
doing
me,
it
I'm
out
not
of
done yet.
emotion.
To be in the kitchen like Myron thinks, instead of having a job and having a career and being able to live their life they lives, if you think that women are a second-class citizen, then you're a and I want you deported to Gaza.
Why
and that's a
Gaza?
better opinion.
Wait, why
That's a better
Gaza?
opinion.
Since you get blown up?
Oh, he big man. He big man. Look at him. Look at him. He big. Look at the booty boo. He big man.
Little mama.
That's a better opinion.
It's a very thing to say. I
may not agree, but I respect.
Clearly, I hit a nerve.
Here's the thing. Here's
A
the
little
thing.
emotional.
Let me be clear here. When we're talking
Here
about
comes the
women,
misogynist.
when
Here we
we're
go.
talking about women as human beings, we're not saying that they're lower from a human being.
You said
If
second-class
anything,
citizen.
As a matter of fact, I would say women are very important because they carry on the next lineage of children. So we must protect them. However, when it comes to the confinements of a relationship, men and women are absolutely not equal. And she understands this because she has a long-term relationship and it's
Equal as
successful.
how?
Because she understands
Mentally or
that her
physically?
man is a leader.
How are they
and
not
she
equal?
follows-
Physically, mentally, what
Let me
be
explain.
specific?
All the parameters that women look for in a man, typically based off the guy having higher status and higher strength, income, capacity, everything than her. Women don't seek their equals when it comes to a relationship.
You
This
make
egalitarianism that you're talking about.
you make assumptions
Well,
on how
I
every
think
woman
Farrah
in
would
society
agree.
thinks.
Women.
It's
I have a-
ridiculous.
See, this is where the argument falls apart because you say you make assumption about every single woman. If you are a smart person, you have discernment. You know what I'm saying? You understand how to critically think. You understand that we're not talking about 100% of people because nothing in this word is absolute. So when we have these conversations, even if it's generalized, we got to understand if you pull a group of people, you pull a group of women, you can take a pool of women. You can say, I'm going to pull 100 of these women and I'm going to ask them, what type of man? And as I'm asking them, I'm going to give them data. I'm going to write down the data. You, based off of the information and the studies that's already out there, you can conclude that out of these 100 women, you could probably say that the overwhelming majority of women will pick a man that's above 6 feet, that makes a certain amount of money. He's probably in shape. He's probably somewhere in between some sort of shape or in full shape. Smart guys, some sort of intelligence, has to have an education, emotionally intelligent, all of these different things that will qualify this man for this woman. I guarantee you the overwhelming majority out of that 100 women will definitely prove the statistics that's already out here already. But that doesn't mean it's absolute. We know that there are not a lot of women out there. We know that sometimes there are some really tall women that are dating some short ass men. We know this. We know there's some skinny ass men dating some big ass women. We know this. We know there's some skinny ass women dating some big ass dudes. We know this and we understand this. Hell, there are even some men dating little people and vice versa. So yes, but the exception does not make the rule. You have to base it off the majority. So generally speaking, women want a man that's more superior to her. Which then completely destroys the whole idea of us being equal, because we're not. How come people can't comprehend that? This is crazy.
Overwhelming majority of women want a guy that's 6 foot plus, 100,000 plus per year. Strong,
wait.
smart.
Not everyone is
Guys,
materialistic.
I got a question for Myron and for Brian. Why do you think it is that there has never been a female chess world champion?
Well, I mean, there's also never been a female president. There's a lot of things.
Thank God.
Hold on there, gosh darn minute. I asked you about chess, which any woman could enter the competition, and there's never been a world champ.
Sure. So I'll be the first one to admit I'm not a chess player. I don't know anything about chess. I would imagine it's a
Doesn't surprise me.
I would imagine it's a brain game. Say, Tim, you could relate to this. You're a poker player. You would admit that, poker's a mental game, right?
Women never raise; they always call.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No.
Okay.
You've never played against Annie Duke like I have. But anyway.
That's one woman.
All right, hold on. So there are a lot of great female poker players.
Of course.
Yes.
Now, a woman has never won the main event. So here's the reason, in my opinion. There's a much smaller percentage of professional chess players and poker players than there are male. So I think you have to look at the percentage of it and say to yourself, if you have 300 female poker players and 8,000 male players in the World Series of Poker, the chances of a woman winning are far less.
Agreed. Now, the question then becomes, why won't women play chess?
Well, I don't speak for all women like apparently Myron does, but I will tell you that I don't know a lot about chess. I know that poker's also a mind game, and there's plenty of women that play poker. Maybe not as much as men.
Let me just say this.
Without you actually answering the question, because you're tiptoeing around it without trying to say it, because you already know the answer, but you want to say, I don't want to speak for all women because I'm not like Myron. You already know the answer, but you don't want to say it because then it goes against everything that you were just arguing about. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Most of these sporting events or even strategy.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that's
a physical thing. That's different.
But so in poker, chess, and all things similar, even if we're talking about Pokemon or whatever.
Right.
The proportion of women who play is substantially lower, and it's comparable across the board in every one of these fields.
Yeah, I think that's probably
why is
fair.
that?
Well, first of all, I'm not one of those lefty people that thinks that WNBA players should be getting paid as much as men. That's absurd. I also have always said this. I said this on your show. I've said this on plenty of other shows. I do not believe that women should be in women's sports. I know I'm kind of expanding here, but the point I'm trying to make to your original question is there's a smaller percentage of women professional chess players.
I'm asking why. Why won't women play chess?
I don't know the answer to that. I'm not going to
because men and women are fundamentally driven by different motives.
All right, guys. So we only have 10 minutes left.
I don't know the answer to that, Tim.
All right, next person, Clayton, come on.
He knows the answer to it, but he knows if he answers it, it's gonna go against everything that he's been saying. It proves the point. It proves the point.
What do you have for us, Clayton? Come on, get on the mic. Clayton's right there. He's right there.
That is insane, bro. And again, this is another example of a Caucasian man trying to play Captain Saberhold. And the reason why a lot of these white women out here, I gotta call a spade a spade. A lot of these white women out here acting a fucking fool. White men get control of your white women. I'm telling you, now it's not a lot of them. Now listen, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing that. When I say something, I'm just gonna say it in general. I'm not gonna preface it by saying, well, I know it's not a lot. Y'all need to have better critical thinking skills. White men, get your white women again. I'm gonna stop doing that. Because y'all should already know. Y'all should already know my stilo. We already know it ain't absolute. So if you can't critically think and you gonna sit up here and say, oh well, it's not everybody, you already lost it. I don't even want to talk to you no more. That's a fact. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and make sure you hit the bell notification, dog.